Hey folks, Almanic the HotRodHippie here. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I avoid distortion when I bead roll panels. Today's video is coming via viewer request. The question was posed, how do you avoid the panel being distorted after you're done bead rolling it? There are a couple of simple answers, and then there's really one true proper answer to this. I'm going to go over all of them and demonstrate how it is that I go about doing this. So I have a panel here that I've laid out. I've got the design that I want to bead roll into it, but I need to figure out how I'm going to avoid getting it all distorted when I'm done. So I'm going to go ahead and run a bead profile here, show you the distortion in action, and then we're going to go ahead and follow some steps that we can do on the panel that I actually want to have a good finished product out of to prevent that from happening so you can avoid it in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little stepped in impression in here and show you what's happening with the distortion. So now you can see this thing's a tin can. It's floppy, it's all over the place, it's all distorted, it's wavy. I absolutely distorted the heck out of this panel by just putting that simple, not even full 3/16 step into this piece of 18 gauge steel. Okay, so now you see what I'm talking about with a distorted panel. Anybody who wasn't familiar, you know what we're talking about now. So obviously with this finished piece, this is going to be a visible inner fender piece on this truck. I cannot have that tin canning, that distortion in this panel. It would ruin the panel. So what am I going to do? Well, quite honestly, there's only one true proper answer to this, and that is pre-stretch. What's happening when you're bead rolling a panel like this? When it gets all distorted, it's the material is being gathered up into that bead roll step. That material has to come from somewhere. The bead roller is not really a strong enough tool to create the amount of stretch that that material needs to form that new profile in the sheet metal. So that means that as you're running a bead around a piece like this, it's drawing material in from the outside edges around the bead profile to create the shape that it's putting into the panel. So what we need to do to prevent the distortion is to create our own stretch before we run the bead profile. That way we add material, quote unquote, where the bead profile is going to be so that when we run the bead, it doesn't distort the panel. It doesn't need to draw excess material from around the bead area because the stretched out, the thinned out metal where we're putting the bead profile is already there. We don't need to draw it from anywhere else. It is where we need it to be. So now pre-stretching a panel does require some metal shaping tool that is going to create the stretch you need. So a planishing hammer, much like the hand planishing hammer I showed you in another video how to make, that could be used to do this. The hand one might not be ideal for this situation. A stand mounted one would work better. The English wheel is what we're going to use to do it today, and that works out really nicely for this specific situation. Or something like a power hammer would work out as well if you have access to that equipment. I'm going to give you a few quick tips for you folks who don't have access to this stuff so you can maybe avoid some distortion as well. Before I knew how to do this, before I had access to these tools, I still bead rolled panels. What did I do? First and foremost, I would plan bends into my panels. So say this panel here that I just did and it's all distorted, I would go ahead and bend an angle on this and butt it up to the next piece so that they both came together at a pinch weld underneath. I would bend an angle on the sheet metal brake, and when you do that, you actually put a little structure back into the panel, create some strength in there, and it'll help to flatten it out. It may not take that tin canny, oil can kind of thing going on in there. It may not take that out of there because that needs to stretch, but you might be able to lock up the panel enough that you can work with it for the floor pan or whatever it is you're trying to do right now. Another thing that I would commonly do is just form it around my leg. You can see it's got this dip in it right here, right now, so I'll just push it around my leg a little bit and it's better. It's not as bad as it was. It's still tin canny, but it's better than it was, so I might be able to spot weld this down to the floor pan or a firewall that I'm working with and get it to be passable, to get it to work a little bit. Another thing you can do to avoid this distortion is to go little bit by little bit, especially if you have one of the weaker motored powered ones or the hand crank style bead roller. If you do things in passes, say if I did this instead of 2 passes, I did this step in 6 passes. And every time I went around, I turned the handle down just a little more, slowly creating that profile. You will find if you do it in those stages that you can stop before you distort the panel too much. Maybe don't take it out of the bead roller so you don't have to reset, but go ahead and check the panel for that distortion as you're going. You'll find a sweet spot where it's not yet distorted, it's still got a decent step to it, maybe not as much as you might like, because quite honestly, to create the really nice deep profile, you're not gonna do that without the distortion, without pre-stretching. So to avoid it, just go little bit by little bit, and you might be able to get away with not having that issue. All right, so I've talked enough about the ways you can somewhat get around distortion and work with it in your situations. Now it's time to show you the right way to do it, and that is pre-stretching the panel. We're gonna use my Metal Ace English wheel here to go ahead and pre-stretch this panel, get it ready for bead rolling so I can create the finished product with as little distortion as I can go for. I am not gonna claim to be the best at this that there is. It's a trial and error kind of thing. You have to feel out how much stretch it requires for the bead profile you're trying to put in. I really recommend doing test panels to figure it out. So without further ado, let's go. I've got my design laid out on here. I'm gonna emboss this where I'm gonna step in a little section with a step die. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna English wheel on these lines to raise up the design out of the panel. The idea is you need to stretch it as much as the step needs to step in. So I'm gonna try and do that the best I can here. If I were trying to run a bead down this panel, I would wanna go ahead and raise along where that bead's gonna be. You want the pre-stretch to be the opposite direction of the finished design. This is gonna be stepped in, so I wanna raise up this section before I go ahead and run it through the bead roller. If I wanted a raised bead on here that was sticking up from this panel, I would want to English wheel on this side so that it raised this way, and then I could reverse it with the bead roller. So let's go ahead and English wheel this piece. I'm using quite a lot of pressure on this, quite a bit more than I would if I was trying to actually English wheel shape a piece, because I would do that in much smaller increments than where I'm trying to raise just on a line like I am here. So now I've created my pre-stretch on the panel on the English wheel. I've stretched along the lines where I'm going to be embossing this piece, raising it up because I want to set that down with the step design. And I've got quite a bit of shape to this panel now that's going to come out when I bead roll it, because I've basically pre-distorted this panel. So instead of having it be all potato chippy and distorted when I'm done, I put some distortion in it now so that I'm aiming to kind of equal back out when I'm finished with this piece. So let's go ahead and bead roll this piece. I'm gonna tell you right now, I am way out of practice with the bead roller, so let's hope this goes well. So I'm over here on my Mittler Brother bead roller. I've contacted the piece, I'm gonna tighten it down. All right, it's time to roll this panel. So now I've got my bead rolled panel. It is not perfect. As I said, I am not a master at this. I have room to improve myself. You can see here that it's got a bit distortion in the middle of it, a little wave to it. But if we go ahead and compare it to the panel that I bead rolled to demonstrate the distortion to you, you can see this is very poppy, it's tin canny. It's got a lot of distortion to it. My finished product here that I'm aiming to use for this inner fender well does not have any of that tin canniness to it. It has a little bit of distortion that I am very confident will come out with a little bit of hammer work and bending the flange on there. Like I said earlier, that will help as well. Earlier today I did the other side panel that mirrors this one, and you can see that the finished product has turned out really well, and it was actually just a little bit more distorted than the one that I demonstrated here for you. So I am very confident the one I just did will clean up nicely. Go ahead and drop this video a like if you found it informative. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you have a pre-stretch method that maybe I should adopt, something I should check out? Maybe it'll improve my work? Or are you going to start trying out pre-stretching yourself? Or do you just accept that distortion's a fact of life with bead rolling and I'm just going to live with it? Go ahead and subscribe to the channel for more content like this every week, folks. Thanks for coming around.